everyone, welcome to part 9 of Dictionary Words. Today we're going to look at 5 really cool words that come straight from Merriam-Webster's through New International Dictionary. These words have great definitions, great spellings, and great etymologies. So yeah, we'll just look at 5 of them today. And these words are, again, great words, great candidates for spelling bees, typically towards like the higher levels of competition because they are very interesting and very unique kind of words. So let's just jump right in. Our first word today, what we're going to do is we'll write them like we always have been, and then kind of talk about the word, look it up in the dictionary, and see what makes it unique. So the first word we have today is spelled Cairara. So I want you to think about how this word could be pronounced before we actually look at the pronunciation, or maybe what language it comes from before we look up what it is. Okay, here it is. The word is Cairara. Cairara. It's a noun. It's from Portuguese, and it means a large-headed arboreal monkey of the Amazon Valley. When you see this word, for me, like when I see this word, I kind of get the sense that it is Portuguese. And the reason for that is because lots of Portuguese words kind of have this repetitive ending, like rara. A lot of them have AI for the I sound. If you go back to the Portuguese videos, you can go back and see like examples of Portuguese words that use the same thing. So this does come from Tupi and Guarani, which are, if you click on them, they're kind of more native languages of people living in Brazil near the Amazon, and that's why, that's where it comes from. But it does have Kai meaning monkey and Arara meaning macaw. So that's very interesting to see where that comes from. You put it together and you literally get Kai Arara. A very interesting definition. It's a monkey of the Amazon Valley. If you think about the Amazon Valley, you think like Brazil, and what do they speak there? They speak Portuguese. So then you can use your Portuguese rules. So again, this is a simple word. Because Portuguese is a Romanian language, or Romance language, not Romanian language, sorry. It's a Romance language, meaning it comes from Latin, and that's why we don't use the letter K. This has been a repetitive theme throughout all my videos that, languages that come from Latin, those Romance languages, don't like to use the letter K. They like to use the letter C because K does not exist in Latin. So again, here we have that for the C, and then the I, rara. All the vowels kind of make sense. They all are like A's pretty much. The I is spelled with an AI. And it's a very interesting word, Cairara. So it is a very Portuguese word. Okay, so you can look carefully at the AI to see what makes it Portuguese, and then the arara, the rara ending is very Portuguese, and it's a kind of monkey, okay? So that makes it an interesting definition, because usually animal words or food words or those kinds of category words are great words for bees. So this is a very Portuguese word, Cairara. It's a great word. Word number 2 today is a French word. I'll go ahead and tell you the origin. Rentier. Now that you know this word is French, I want you to think about how this word might be pronounced. Okay? Yep, here we go. It's pronounced rentier, because in actual French, it would be pronounced rentier. And when it's come into English, it's just slightly altered. Now it's pronounced rentier. Okay, rentier. And it's, first of all, the first definition is one who owns rentes. Rentes is, under French law, it's kind of like an annual income on property. And you can see it comes straight from like the English word rent. You can see that, and you can see that in the definition as well. So one who owns rents, or a person who receives a fixed income, not just on land, but like from land, stocks, or bonds, or one who lives on income from investments. So you can kind of tell the word rent is involved in this word, but because we know it's from French, we know the sound is there, and you might be wondering, how do I spell this sound in French, because there's so many different ways to spell it. But here, because we know it has to do with rents, which comes from the word rent, we can assume that it's rent, and that does fit. Another French rule is that usually people in French end in IER. Like in English, people words end in ER, like teacher, dancer, singer. Whenever someone's doing something, that er means it's that person, right? So in French, it's the same thing, except it's ier, and that's pronounced ye, rentier. Okay, so there's so many words. I'm trying to think off like the top of my head right now, but there's so many French words that end in ier that describe kinds of people, and those are definitely French endings, and they are pronounced ye at the end, rentier. So again, the ier and that e comes from the word rent, and that's where, if you listen to the definition, you'll know exactly what the word is. So this is a very French word, rentier, and it's like one who owns rent, or we can just say who receives a fixed income. One who receives a fixed income. Okay, so that's word number 2. All right, we can go ahead and erase. Okay, word number 3 today is an interesting one because of the origin where the word comes from. So the word is spelled Hallali, and I know this has been asked before in the National B, and it's not that one. It's pronounced Hallali, Hallali, and it's a huntsman's bugle call. So where does the word come from? What origin? It's imitative origin, and that basically means it's kind of like onomatopoeia, like words like buzz or boom. It's kind of like that's what those words sound like, and that's what they mean. So this word comes from the noise that a huntsman's bugle call might sound like. Hallali, hallali, you can see an example here. His hallali rang high. So again, when you have words from imitative origin, it's really hard to say how to spell the word because there is no kind of background, or there is no language of origin to help you figure out how to spell it. So you kind of have to know it. And this is an interesting one. It's spelled kind of odd. If I would first hear hallali without knowing how to spell it, I don't think I'd spell it this way. It's kind of unique. So that's why I wanted to bring up this word. It's from imitative origin. So the only thing we can do with this word is just memorize it, learn it. It's imitative origin. And it is huntsman's bugle call. So that's what it sounds like. And again, there's not much else I can say about this word other than just know how to spell it. It's kind of like hall at first and then Ali. But if you need anything to remember how to spell it, that's how I'd remember it. Just remember there's 2 L's in the middle and then 1 L at the end. Hallali. Hallali. It's a very interesting one. It's been asked before, but it could definitely pop up again. Okay, word number 4 today is, it's spelled Tylarus. Now think about what language it could come from. To me, it seems pretty clear. It sounds like a new Latin Greek kind of word, especially because the Y in there, the US at the end. So this is pronounced Tilaris or Tilaris, 2 ways to pronounce it. Tilaris, where the stress is on the first part, or Tilaris, where the stress is on the second part. And it does come from New Latin from Greek, so it is a very kind of scientific word. We can kind of guess that. And it's a very interesting definition. It's a pad on the undersurface of a bird's toe. Very interesting. Again, because it comes from Greek, that could explain the Y. Because it's a noun, it does end in US, and the schwa is an A. Pretty easy to figure that schwa out because of the second pronunciation, Tilaris. So the ending should be pretty clear. The only thing that's a little tricky might be the beginning. Like, is it a Y or is it an I? But again, because it comes from Greek, like tylos, meaning callus, we know it is a Y. So it is New Latin from Greek, and it's pad on the undersurface of a bird's toe. Kind of interesting definition for sure. Again, the US, it's because it's a noun. The A should be clear from the alternate pronunciation. That's, how the schwa is spelled. Pronunciation. And then the Y is because that Greek element in there. And again, tylo means callus in Greek. So again, putting all that together seems like a pretty simple and good word. A very great word in general. Follows the rules, great definition, and has an interesting root in there. So it's a good one. Okay, our last word of the day today is. Let me erase this first. Okay, the last word. Find a nice color. Okay, it's spelled Progne. Now think about where this could come from. It's actually kind of not what you would think it is. If I just looked at that word, I would say, oh, maybe it's a French word pronounced prone, but it's not. It's a Greek word pronounced progeny, and that's how it should be pronounced because it comes from Greek. But it's a genus of swallows, including the purple martin and its related forms. So it's a kind of bird, but the interesting thing, it comes from mythology, a woman in Greek mythology who was transformed into a swallow, and her name was Procne. But this word is irregular from Procne. It's just been changed into progeny. Okay, so it's a Greek mythological word. So Greek mythology is what it comes from, and it means a genus of swallows. So again, um, it's a kind of bird. But again, the thing about this, I think I mentioned in a previous video, even perhaps the last dictionary words video, where lots of Greek words end in the letter E for the E sound at the end, like this one, progeny. So many of them. So don't ever be scared to use an E at the end of a Greek word if it's pronounced E. That happens a lot, especially in shorter, like 5-letter or 6-letter words like this one. It's very common in Greek, and especially in mythology words, for sure. So don't be afraid to use that E at the end. The rest of the word seems kind of simple to me because it comes from Greek, progny. Like, that's pretty much the only solid way you could spell it. So yeah, the only tricky thing maybe is the E right here at the end. But again, once you know it's from Greek mythology, you should be like good to go and know that this is one of those smaller, interesting Greek words. Okay, and it's, a definition is good too because it's the birds again, genus of swallows. Okay, so today, that's it for today. Just a quick recap of the words we did today, the 5 of them. The first one was Cairara, that's too thick. Cairara. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Cairara. Word number 2 was rentier, Rentier. Word number 3 was Hallali, Hallali. Word number 4 was Tilaris or Tilaris, Tylarus. And word number 5 was Progne, Progne. These are all 5, great words, great definitions, and, great candidates, like I said before, for a spelling bee. So be on the lookout for these words and words very similar, and I hope to see you next time where we'll look at a few more. Thank you. Bye.